glad you guys are getting to know your buddy because there's homework. So I want to know what you guys find in common, because best believe you guys will find some things in common. All right, hush up, guys. For this next person, she is going to teach you guys how to make 5 times the profit on whether it's your music, your film, whatever project you have. You will 5 times your profit just by doing this one thing. This girl is not only my best friend, and I've been working with her for a long time. I told you guys we went on tour, the 27-city tour. Also went to India together, utilizing our passion for purpose. Please welcome the beautiful Kristine Mirelle.
All right. Hey, everybody. My name is Kristine Mirelle. I focus on helping people make money. And that's pretty much everybody. But musicians, we kind of have a hard time asking for money sometimes because we love what we do, and sometimes we feel like we shouldn't be paid for it. And then sometimes we feel like we should be paid too much for it, even though we're not doing any work. So there's kind of like this thing that's happening with us. But we don't really think of all the time as it when there's 2 words in music business. A lot of us are focusing just on music. We're not focusing on the business part of it. And so I'm going to be talking to you guys about a few things that I've done. I've traveled about 6 different continents. I've done about 2,500 paid shows all over the world. I started out as an independent artist. I've done multiple 7 figures as an artist. And most of you guys have probably never heard of my music, right? And that's my point, is you don't have to be famous to make money. You don't have to be popular to get paid. You can be paid without being popular. Because so many people are focusing just on being popular that you're not making any money. How many of you guys are just like posting tons of stuff on YouTube and you're recording all this music and you're thinking, all I gotta do is make the right song, and if I make the right song, I'm gonna get money. But that's like saying, if I just make the right recipe, I'm going to have a successful restaurant. Does that make sense? That doesn't make sense, right? Just because you make a great recipe. So then you're gonna keep making more recipes, thinking maybe if I keep making all these other great recipes, then maybe I'll have a successful restaurant. That's not gonna be how it works, because we know that there's other things that come in place. You have to have real estate, you have to have marketing, you have to have advertising, you have to have staff, you have to have menus, you have to have ovens, there has to be all these other things. So I'm gonna be talking to you guys about one thing today that you could change in your world today that's going to make you make at least 5 times more money than what you're making. How does that sound? Cool? All right, sweet. Okay, so how many of you guys are like, every time you talk about your music, you're like, go to my Spotify? How many of you guys do that? Does everybody do that? Go to my streaming platform, go to my Apple Music. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys why you should never do that ever. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. So one of my students I consulted with, he shared a video that got about 60,000 views organically. That's pretty cool, right? In the description, he included a link to his Spotify. Go to the next slide, B. So that's what a lot of us do. Like, a lot of us do that. You can just keep moving through it. I'll just give you a hand. I'll give you a hand to keep moving, because it's going through pretty slow. So let's break down the possible Spotify earnings. So if, let's say, 60,000 people, right? He told me 60,000 people landed on his profile. Let's say 60,000 people that landed on that profile, let's say about 3% that looked at his description went to his Spotify. So if 3% of those viewers go to the Spotify link in the description, Spotify pays about 0.0047 cents per stream. That means he made $8.46. Is anyone excited about $8.46? No, let's not do that. So his question to me was, how do I get more streams on Spotify so that I can make more money? And I was like, that's a terrible question to ask. That shouldn't be the question that you're asking. The question that you should be asking, here, do I just give like, no, the microphone was fine. I just need I just need to be moving through I'm just going to do this for you to move the thing, okay? So a better question you should be asking yourself is, if my goal is to make money, what is the best way to do that? Because it's not Spotify, it's not streaming platforms, it's not Apple Music, it's not any of those things. Because in fact, you need about 1 million streams a month just to make $4,700 a month. $4,700 a month will make you about $60,000 a year, but you're gonna have to get 1 million people streaming your music every month. How many of you are getting 1 million people streaming your music every month without having to spend money? Because see, a lot of you are probably running ads too. How many of you guys have run ads and just lost money? And you're like, why am I running these ads? Yeah, it's because you're just running video views campaigns, and you're just hoping that people land on it and somebody likes something and decides to give you money. And that's not a good plan. So that takes us back to our original question. If my goal is to make money, where is the best place to send my traffic to do that? What if there's a way to make up to 5 times more money just by tweaking one thing? And it's not about getting more traffic. It's not about promoting more music. It's not about doing any of those things. It's about just sending your traffic to a different location. So that's what I'm going to talk about right now. Do any of you guys know what funnels are? You guys know like Russell Brunson? Yes, I just spoke at one of his events last week in Mexico. So I teach about a lot of this stuff because he's brilliant and he's a genius, and this is where I learned all this stuff. But I applied it to music. And so I'm going to talk to you guys about that right now. So what is this one-page website, a.k.a. a funnel? So it's a path that a fan takes to purchase something from you. It's their journey, and it's a process that you put them through. Have you guys ever seen a funnel? Have you ever seen where, like, you click on something and it's like, do you want to buy this? And then it's like, but wait, do you want to buy this? But wait, do you want to buy this? And it keeps on doing it. That's what that is. So let's compare Spotify and a funnel. Spotify, if you send people to Spotify in the description, if 3% convert and go to your Spotify, right? We talked about that earlier. If you have 60,000 views, I was talking to you about that student. And I told you if 3% of the traffic went to his Spotify, he made $8.46. But if you sent that same traffic that came to that YouTube profile, if instead you sent them to a fan funnel where you sold like a t-shirt and an album, something like that, 3%, if 3 out of 100 people, does that sound too difficult to accomplish? No, it doesn't, right? If 3 out of 100 of those people landed on that page and bought a t-shirt and album, you would have made $72,000. Do you see the huge difference between that? So that's the difference between bars, yeah. That's the difference between a Happy Meal and a Tesla. How many of you guys are like, I'd rather have a Happy Meal? Nobody, right? Said nobody. We'd rather have the Tesla. That's a huge difference just by sending traffic to a different place. And so the grand total being $72,000. To make that same amount on Spotify, you would have needed 20.571 million people to stream your music instead of just 3% of the people that landed on a page with 60,000 people. Do you see the difference in how you don't actually need to get wildly popular to actually make money? So this is an example of a funnel. So I wanted to show you guys something that I built out. So on the very first one, what you're going to see there is what you need to do is don't sell something right away. You give something. Because does someone ever walk up to you and just, hey, you want to buy something? And you're like, yeah, sure, here's my money. Usually not. Usually a better thing to do is to give people something. So what we recommend to do is to give your music away. So, and a lot of people say don't do that. Because they say we should get paid. Yeah, but you're going to get paid a fraction of a penny. So let's talk about how we can do something that's way more valuable. So let's say you picked 1 or 2 songs that you wanted to give away for free in exchange for an email address or a phone number. And so this is what we do. We give away a couple songs, and on our YouTube description, we say, hey, how about you download my music for free? That sounds pretty cool, right? If someone's coming to your YouTube profile, instead of buy something from me, they say, this is how you can get this song for free. Don't you think people are going to get pretty excited about that? Instead of, how do I give this person my money? They don't even know you yet. So what happens is they go onto there, and that first page happens, and they give you their email. And now you have a way to advertise to them forever, for as long as they have email. Because, see, I remember I built up my MySpace. Do you guys remember MySpace? I built up my MySpace so big. I was the top 10 most searched independent artist in the world. I was in the top 10. I was broke, and when MySpace disappeared, so did all of my ways of communicating with them. So let's talk about Spotify versus a funnel. So Spotify, you make about 0.0047 cents a stream. You're limited by what Spotify's options to monetize are, right? If they say, we don't like you anymore, they turn off your account, you're done. Or if they say, hey, you can only sell, streams. I know they have a merch department now, but you're limited by what options they give you. You're not in charge. They own that traffic. You don't own that traffic. You can't retarget fans with new offers. So once they buy something from you, am I better right here?
Hey, let's switch microphones, because she's saying bars, right? You guys are already agreeing to what she's saying? I just want to make sure we can hear you correctly.
All right, let's see if that's better. So, is that better? Okay, awesome. I think. Do I need to just stand in one place? Is that better? No? It's just the microphone? Okay. So, So what happens is, once someone buys something from you, there's no way for you to ask them to buy something again. You're hoping that they come back to your Spotify, or you're hoping that they come back to your Instagram, or you're hoping that you pop up again in their feed and that the algorithm favors whatever it is that you posted. You're at everyone else's mercy. You don't own your career. Someone else owns your career. Someone can shut you down and you're done. So that's why it's so important for you to grab emails and telephone numbers. So with a funnel, you can charge anything from $5, $10, $20, $50, $5,000. I've sold 5,000. I just held a conference. People paid $5,000 to come to my conference each. I did that by using funnels to create this relationship. There's a lot of strategies and a lot of things that go in between it. But you can sell whatever you want. You're not limited by whatever the platform is telling you. You can sell retreats. We've sold like songwriting retreats where people said, hey, let's all get together and let's go to Colorado and let's all write songs together. And you imagine your fans if you offered that instead of just, hey, go stream my music on Spotify. Imagine if you offered instead, hey guys, 10 people, we're all gonna go to Colorado, or we're gonna get together, we're gonna hike, we're gonna do all these really cool things, everyone's gonna bring their guitars, we're gonna create music together, I'm gonna even write a song with you guys, we're gonna produce this, we're gonna put it out and release, and you're all gonna be in my music video. Will each of you guys pay $1,000? How many fans do you need to do that? You just need 10. You just need 10 fans, and you've made $10,000. You need 2 million people to stream your music to do that. You're seeing the difference, like with how you don't have to be popular to get paid. You have to use different strategies, and you have to think about it as a business. So let's say you spend years building up your Spotify subscribers, etc., your Instagram, your Facebook, your TikTok, any of those things, and for whatever reason, they shut you down. You've lost everything. And that's happened, right? But in a funnel, you capture their contact information right away so you can reach out to them indefinitely. You're able to contact them directly. So like I said, this is the example of like one funnel, and that's where I grabbed their email in the very first page. So again, we offer a free song in exchange for their email phone number in the first step. So let's cover potential income within a funnel versus Spotify. Is this all making sense so far? All this is making sense? Okay, cool. All right, sweet. All right, let's keep going. All right, so in Spotify, if you send people to Spotify in the description, again, we're going back to those numbers, right? The person that told me I had 60,000 people watch my video. If 3% of them stream your music on Spotify, again, you've made $8.46. But if 3% convert to your funnel and buy an album, you've made $72,000. We all agree 3% isn't really that high, right? That seems pretty low, 3 out of 100 people. So again, that's the difference between a Happy Meal and a Tesla. But let's break it down even more. Let's say 1% converts. Let's say 1 out of 100 people that listen to your music organically buy an album and a CD. You've still made $24,000 versus $8. Huge, huge difference. It's, again, the difference between, I don't even know what car that is, and it's still a car, whatever that car is, versus a Happy Meal. It's still a huge, huge difference. So let's break it down even more. Let's say 0.5%, not even 1% convert. 0.5% of the people go to your page, they see your profile, and on your link you say, come download my music for free. They download, they get their music for free, and on that next page it says, hey, by the way, would you like to buy an album? And on that next page it says, by the way, would you like to buy a t-shirt? If 1 out of 200 people do that, you've made $12,000. Again, that would take more than 2 million people to make that same amount of money. So again, that's the difference between whatever that car is as well, and a Happy Meal. $12,000 is a lot different than $8, right? So let's go even further. So there's something that you can do even cooler with a funnel. So it's not even what you're making right away, but it's what you can make for a lifetime. So let's say that no one buys anything in your funnel. Okay, let's say 0% convert. Some people are gonna go be like, well, that's terrible, right? It's not, because you still grab their contact information, and that's the most important, valuable thing that you could do. So let's say 0% of them convert. I cannot read that far away. So let's say you set up an automated email sequence. Have you ever bought something and right away you got an email and it said, thank you so much for buying this? Or you didn't buy something and it said, oops, you left something in your cart and you didn't buy it? So that's what you can do. You can set up an email sequence where when someone signs up and they got your free songs, let's say they didn't buy anything, but let's say you send them like 3 emails. It's called a nurture sequence. It's where you send them an email and you say, hey, you got this song. Guess what? I wrote this song about my friend. They passed away. Oh my God, this is a story. You tell them the whole backstory because they get to know you. How many of us now, we like artists so much, like they could pretty much release anything and we're just gonna buy whatever. Like it doesn't even matter. Like Beyonce doesn't even have to chart anymore. Like it doesn't matter. Like she doesn't even have to release music ever again for the rest of her life. She has diehard fans that have fallen in love with her, and now she can do whatever she wants. It's the same thing with us, because the difference is we can actually reach out to these fans and actually create relationships with them. I've had fans that have spent more than $25,000 with me alone, and that's not uncommon. That works for females, males, it works for older people, it works for younger people. I have a student who's 65 years old right now. Within 8 weeks, he started at 65. Within 8 weeks of us working together, he booked a $10,000 show in the East Coast. It's using certain methods. It's not about just trying to get popular. So let's say that you sent out these email sequences that whenever someone got your email, it started sending them something that said, hey, thank you so much for joining. You know, here's this amazing story, and this is why I wrote this song. And then they got a second email, and you still didn't ask them to buy something yet. You still said, hey, look, and I wrote this other song, and, you know, and this is what it's about. And look, here's some behind-the-scenes footage, something that they wouldn't normally get. You know, not just to stream my music, you know, check me out, buy this. And then on the third email, that's when you said, hey, if you're really liking what I've given you, because you've given them so much value that now they want to spend money with you. So now let's say 3% of those people that you sent to the email sequence bot, you've still made $2,000. That's still a million times more than what you would have made with sending them to Spotify. So if you did that once a week, that's already $11,232 a year. Just sent out one email that got about 3% of those people to convert to buy like an album or a CD from you. So let's move on to the next slide. Let me see these other, just like breaking down numbers. I love numbers, I love math. So if you release a new album in the future and 3% of your existing mailing list buys it, that's another $1,000.80. This is, again, making no money. This is an example if nobody bought anything when they landed on your profile. This is just if you set up the email sequence. So if you released a Patreon account, and let's say 1% of those people join at $5 a month, you're now making another $1,000.80 years. Let's say $1,080 a year. 1% tips $5 at a live stream once a week. That's another $4,680. So you've made an additional $6,800. So that's a total of a little over $20,000 just off your email sequence. That's not even off the funnel. That's not even people buying albums and stuff up front. So let's say you had 1,000 people landing on your funnel at 3% conversion, buying an album and one small merchandise. That's $12,000 versus Spotify at 0.14 cents. $12,000 versus 14 cents is a big difference, right? That's a Laffy Taffy versus a mortgage payment. That is huge. But why is the majority of people sending everything to Spotify? Spotify has done a really good job of saying that you need to be there. So everyone's spending money on Spotify ads, everyone's spending money on those things. And we've just been miseducated because we don't know how to run a business. But that's what we are. We're all small business owners here, right? We're not just musicians, because you wouldn't be here if you weren't trying to turn it into business. It's expensive to record. It's expensive to do music videos. It's expensive to tour. It's expensive to advertise yourself. Some of you guys have said that you've run ads to a video views campaign. How many of you guys have done that, where you just got video views, right? And then in the video view, what did you do? You sent them to Spotify, didn't you? And then you're making 0.0047 cents. Now imagine if that same traffic, again, if only 3% of them had converted, you would have made all your money back, wouldn't you have? And you probably would have profited if you would have had something to sell, right? Like let's say you had the album and a t-shirt instead of focusing on streaming platform. So a lot of you guys, well, what if I also want Spotify plays on my profile, Kristine? I also need those numbers. Well, guess what? You can still send people to Spotify on your thank you page in your funnel or in your email sequence. You can still send them there anyway. So it's a win-win all around. Websites, a lot of people say, well, can't I just send them to a regular website? It's different. A website has all these things, and there's all this research out there that says when people are given lots of different options, they don't do anything. When someone says, hey, here's my bio, here's my background, here's my photos, here's my media, here's all this other stuff that I've done, you know, pick something, and then you're hoping that they buy something. There's too many things. A funnel gives them one thing that they can do, and that's it. And you're giving them something for free. And they're going to sign up for that, right? There's way more chances that they're going to sign up for something for free than to buy something. And there's a lot of research that shows that people have to see something about 14 to 16 times before they buy it. So you need to capture those emails so that you can start, getting to them. So when can you direct people to your funnels? You can direct people to funnels in your YouTube description, in your social media posts. You know, for myself, I never told people go to my Spotify. I'd post like a picture of my music videos, and then I'd be like, hey, If you want this song for free or you want it before anybody else sees it, like here's a clip, just DM me. DM me the word free song along with your email, right? That's a way to do it. Or you have something like a domain, like I have a domain called grabmysong.com. So on the radio, I can be like, hey, anybody here wants my songs? Go to grabmysong.com, which is really cool. So what can you sell in your funnel? You can sell album downloads, t-shirts, bundles, autographed postcards, Patreon subscriptions, concert tickets. You can collect tips for a live stream, books, artwork, beauty products, custom songs, your music courses, private vocal lessons. You could invite them into Patreon. You could do anything. I know a lot of people that sell art. I know people that sell, maybe I have a student that does like more healing type stuff, and he sells like jewels and certain things, scents and oils and that sort of thing. So by tweaking just one thing in your music career, you could be creating a 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times more money in your music career. Does that all make sense? Does all that make sense? Okay, awesome. So I'm going to give you guys just an opportunity because I want to give you, I know some of you guys are like, okay, Kristine, how do I actually learn how to make a funnel? So on the last slide, I actually have something that I'm going to be giving you guys. So I'm going to show you how. So if you move on to that last one, if you guys want to take a screenshot of it, there's two things here. So if you go to kristinemirelle.net/free gifts, there's going to be two things on there. There's going to be something called ClickFunnels, and you're going to get a 14-day trial where you can actually set up your own funnel. And then I'm going to give you my funnel. So there's a link on there. It's free. So basically, I'm giving you a template. You basically just drag and drop. You put in your own album, your own song names. You just do all of those things in there, and you're going to be able to make your own funnel. I already built it for you. You can literally just click on it and drag and drop. It's totally free, so you can build your funnel, okay? And then last, if you go to bookagigfast.com, you can join my email list, where I send out lots of free information, where I send out lots of free tips just like this. So those are my free gifts to you guys. I hope that made sense. Yes? That makes sense? All right, awesome. All right, thank you guys so much. And give it up for Vanessa. She's working so hard to put this together, guys. This is a lot of work. So she's put this together, so make sure to give her a lot of love.
Dude, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, that was like a whole hit song, not just bars, right? How many people are going to take advantage of that? Yes. Yes, thank you so much, Kristine. Look, she is very busy. She got a son. She got a lot of things going on, so I'm just so thankful that she is here and she was able to drop that knowledge really quick. So